What it is, what it was, what it could be, y'all. Welcome back to Disc Golf Justice, and welcome back to the property. Today is the big day, the big unveil. I'm going to be showcasing the overview of my home course build that I've been doing over the last few months since I bought this property here in Nebraska. I think excited is a bit of an understatement of how I'm feeling to have this course in. I got my own personal disc golf course, man. It's really cool, and I'm beyond happy with how the layout has turned out. So without further ado, let's get the drone up in the air and show you the course. Starting with hole 1, I wanted the first hole to be right by my front door so that when I step outside I can just play. And it's a very short 155 foot par 3. It does have some teeth though. This little fence that the drone's flying over now keeps any shots low from getting to the basket. Obviously the branches up high keep anything going high, and it's a tunnel shot, you know, a short power down tunnel shot. That's not a very easy shot to throw, though it is a pretty easy par to save. It's not hard to get up and down, but the birdie isn't necessarily the easiest thing. From there you go through these trees. I do need to clear them out a little bit so it's a bit easier to get through, although it's not as bad as the drone makes it seem. But for hole 2, you just move up a little. You move up through the tree line just a smidge, and you're going to be having a mando left of the last pine tree at the bottom of this tunnel. So we got a 498 foot par 4 total, but just to get down to this front landing zone past the mando tree, which we're flying past right now on the right, to get right here is only about 175 feet. From there you got 325 feet out to the basket across the pasture, and the basket's placed right at the front of a little pond, which is, if you land in there, it's OB. It doesn't necessarily always hold water. Matter of fact, most times it's dry. I want to eventually expand that and stock it with fish, and the basket will get moved and everything. But as of now, whether it's dry or has water in it or not, if you land in that water, it's OB. So you got to have a little bit of distance control for that shot. But and that's a tough hole. If you don't hit that initial gap and make the mando, that hole will eat you up. But you just walk up the hill a little bit. You can still see the last basket from hole 2. This is a hole 3 that I changed. So it used to be more to the right and by the pond. I moved it because I just thought that shot wasn't very cool. I like this one a lot more. And it's only a 305 foot uphill par 3, but it plays a lot further than that because I'm not sure if you can tell from the drone. The course is very, very hilly, very hilly. So this, although it's only 305 feet, it probably plays closer to 350, 375. And you just got to hit a perfect little S shot there because the little line, that fence line that you can see to the right, that's not my property if you go over that. So that's all OB. You have to stay on the left, and the brush to the left also is very magnetic for discs, it seems. So it's a very satisfying line to hit. From there you just go through the tree line, so you're at the top of the hill again looking down. You can see hole 2 basket. I quite like this hole. So the first few have been a bit not necessarily short. Hole 2's not necessarily short, but you get to let loose a little bit going down this hole. 345 feet downhill. You can do a big hyzer around the guardian trees up here to the front. You can do a big hyzer in front of them, I guess a slightly smaller hyzer in front of them. Or what I like to do is take like a somewhat stable disc, throw it straight down the hill. It'll drift a little bit, and it'll finish right in front of these trees and give you an uphill putt for the birdie. Quite like this hole, to be honest. That same fence line, you can kind of see it right there where you can start to see corn. That's obviously OB. It doesn't really come into play on this hole, but yeah, if you go over that fence, it's not my property. So the walk from 4 to 5 is the worst one on the course. It's straight uphill, and by the time you get up here, you are a bit winded. But I do have a little electric golf cart that I'm probably going to be using a lot of times when I play out here. But you're at one of the highest points of the property, throwing down a hill, 405 feet par 4. This is an interesting hole because everything you're flying over now is safe. That big tree to the left, that birch tree, that is a mando right. You can pitch it down here to the front of this terrace. It's about 100 feet, I believe. But anything below this terrace and any of this is all OB. What the drone's flying over is all OB. You can throw a big hyzer around that birch tree, that's the mando, and land about right here. It's about a 280 foot hyzer, and then from there you can throw across to the basket, or you can just try to risk it all and throw over the whole OB. Like what the drone's over right now is OB. You have to get on the high side of this terrace to be safe. The grass is the cut grass is the distinct line. And it's very eagleable. I've already got the eagle on this, but you also don't want to go too long on this because then you'll have a downhill death putt. And the drop zone is, I won't even say, it's kind of hard to describe, but when I played this course for the first time, I'll show you where the drop zone is if you haven't seen it when I did the whole build. Just a short walk over for hole 6. I did change this one as well from when I built this one. I just like the tee pad position a little bit more in terms of the feng shui of the course. It's only a 250-foot shot, but it plays more, again, it's so uphill, it plays more like 350, 375. You're throwing straight up this hill. Most discs like to land right here behind this pine tree or spruce tree, whatever it is, to the left. That seems to be a magnet. It takes more disc than you think. I haven't got the birdie on this hole yet, actually. It's a little elusive. I'll get it though, I'll get it. From there, you just turn around and you come right outside of this tree line and you got a little tunnel shot. Look at that. A little shorty, she ain't super long, but you gotta hit a gap. And this will bring it back towards the property. I had some fun playing around with the design of this, trying to make sure I start at the house and end at the house for 9 holes. But yeah, you just got a 240-foot little putter. I like an understable putter, throw it flat, let it turn over and come to the hole. I've already birdied this hole twice. No aces yet though. I've almost aced a few holes on this course already though. Both the par 4, or 2 of the par 4s I've almost aced already, the long boys. But I like this hole, quite short. Then you just come up the hill. This is also one of the highest points on my property. And this is a very, very fun hole for hole 8. You're quite elevated throwing down the hill big time. Look at that tunnel you gotta hit, little gap you gotta hit. And there's no mando of this, but obviously if you throw it through the trees, you're not gonna be able to make it. 487-foot par 4 downhill. I like the big turnover. It's 100% eagleable. I've already gotten the eagle. I haven't quite reached the pin. I was like circle's edge with a perfect throw. But for me, I like the big turnover. There's no OB on this, like how before the low side of the terrace is OB. That doesn't apply on this hole. If you throw something too stable, it'll straighten out and be launched way straight and you'll have a big approach shot. Throw something too understable, it'll cut roll, you'll still have a big approach shot. It's gotta be like the perfect little toss to get there and have an eagle look. But it is 100% doable. And I quite like that hole. You can obviously throw a forehand too, be an easy forehand, and then probably a backhand approach is the smart play, but we like to throw them big turnover shots, don't we? At least I do. Then you walk up the hole. It is a little walk, not quite as bad as from 4 to 5, but a little walk up the hill for the final hole, hole 9, coming back towards the property. This is a big bomber and a little bit confusing. So again, the low side of the terrace here is OB. You got a 565-foot par 4. What you want to do, unless you can throw 565 feet and get there, cool. But if not, what you want to do is throw to this landing zone here. To get to the front of the landing zone, and you don't have to get all the way up to the front of the landing zone, it's just the recommended spot to get. It's 290 feet. To the very front of the landing zone is 430 feet, so it's as long as you just get there, but you have to get on the high side of the terrace. You can't be on the low side of the terrace. And then from there, you just throwing across to this basket. Again, the tall grass marks the distinct line, so you do have to get over. If you see the apple trees at the top left corner, you can pitch up to those from your first shot, I guess, and then just pitch up and take a tap in par. Or you can just straight up attack the basket, which is what I will be doing most times. And there you have it, folks. That's my little 9-hole course, and believe it or not, I'm already brainstorming about a little back 9, using the same baskets, but just switching up tee pad locations. And I still want to end the back 9 at the house and start around here, but yeah, I've just been brainstorming. But let me know what you guys think about the course down below. I'd love to hear you guys' input, some feedback, and maybe one day some of y'all will be able to come out here and play with me. I'll take you for a round on the home course build. If you guys enjoyed the video and the series, make sure you give it a big old thumbs up, smash the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my future content. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.